Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at, well, my box. We're going to be taking a look at all of my units that I have. How many rainbow units do I have? How many LR units do I have? What am I missing? What are my favorites? After 6.5 or so years of Dokkan, I just said 7 because it's been 7 anniversaries that I have been part of. So if that makes sense, yeah, go for it. I don't know. But yes, I've been part of 7 anniversaries and essentially wanted to get a good idea of, or give you guys an idea of what your box can look like. Now, I've spent around $50 in the game. So it's not a fully free-to-play box, but I will leave a video to my discussion about spending money. But yes, I have not spent any money on the game in quite a while, so obviously take that with a pinch of salt. But yes, it is not technically, well, it's not a free-to-play box. I've spent $50 on it. So let's take a look at what we've got. I do have some unorganized units. Generally speaking, those are extra copies of units or units that are unawakened. Now, traditionally speaking, I like to be quite methodical. So I only allocate units either A, once they're Dokkan awakened, or B, once their SA is maxed out nowadays. But there are some exceptions for super old units. So let's talk free to play. I've pretty much rainbowed every free to play unit in the game. If I haven't rainbowed it, it's because it's either not got its second part of its like LR campaign, which makes it a lot easier to farm the second copy, like TN, or the unit's just so old, or does not have a, like, doesn't have an awakening. It's not usable. It's like a free-to-play unit from, you know, the very beginning of the game that is still yet to receive some kind of Dokkan awakening. Usually their piles will be open. I just don't invest the orbs just yet because I don't know what they're going to end up being or if it's going to happen. So let's talk about 100% units. I need to clean this area up a little bit. There are a couple 100% that I do not have in here, and you'll see that just now. I'm going to clean up it a little bit. I have around 368. Now this includes free-to-play units, of which obviously there's around about 180 or so that are rainbow. So I would say here we're probably looking at almost 200 rainbow units that are summonable, which is cool. I don't classify world tournament units as free-to-play, so you will see those here. My most recent rainbow, or like sometimes rainbowing a unit can take a very short amount of time. Like in Chile, I think I got her on as one general banner unit summon, and then like in the space of like one celebration, I got her rainbowed. Whereas sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it takes forever. Strength Frieza was my first rainbow unit, so he was my first like fully rainbowed unit. My favorite rainbow unit, obviously, as I'm sure you can all imagine, is going to be Tech Trunks, because he's Trunks, and yeah, definitely one of my first favorite, yeah, like first favorite unit, I would say, like my first big super time favorite unit that I rainbowed. And then I'd probably say my next favorite rainbow is probably Gogeta. Now Gogeta was actually my first big power spike. I was kind of meandering in Dokkan for a while through like the first couple, even year I'd say that I played it. Getting Gogeta and then getting the free-to-play Goku and Vegeta and Broly that went with that whole celebration basically changed my Dokkan trajectory. So that was a very big change for me. I all of a sudden just got very into the game, very into the challenge notion of it, so it was very cool. Next, I have my focus tab. Now this, you'll see some rainbow units, and gonna clean that up now, but essentially this is for a tab whereby I keep everyone that's not rainbowed, or sometimes they have all their piles open but I don't have their SA maxed. So generally speaking, this is just for units that are not rainbow yet. So it doesn't include like link leveling, things like that. It's just strictly speaking rainbow stats. And this just gives me a good rough idea of how many units I still don't have, rainbow, how many units I still don't have maxed out. And there's plenty of more recent units here. So a lot of the times, especially when you're a veteran player, you'll find that your box tends to stack backwards. So as you slowly pull more general banner units, your rainbow box grows, but it's of older units. Like you can see, even the units I'm ticking off here, that I actually recently rainbowed for the sake of the video, to kind of organize them. A lot of them are older units. Yes, some of them have received recent EZAs, but a lot of them are older units that have existed for a while, or are free to play. That's kind of like the premise there. Your box tends to fill out backwards. Very rarely, if you're not spending stones, do you tend to fill out front facing forward. Sometimes if you're a new player who starts right in the middle of a big celebration, then yes, you do tend to rainbow maybe the newer units and the newer general banner units if you like grind super hard and use like all your quest stones and things like that. But generally speaking, traditionally you rainbow backwards. So you start to rainbow older and older and older units, and you tend to kind of go from there. So this gives you a good idea though of like the natural progression of a box. Like generally speaking, you don't have super OP units like for a long time. And you rely a lot on units of 55%, unit with extra dupes. Maybe you get lucky and you pull an extra copy of Future Gohan or Trunks, I wish, but yeah. And you can also end up awkwardly stuck with units at 90%. Like that happens a lot as well, even with older units. They just never drop the general banner units, and that tends to kind of eat away a little bit. Like you can see here with Broly, who I went really hard on. I go hard whenever he's on the banner. It's just not working out for me. So now we get to LRs. Now before we talk about like my favorite LRs and things like that, obviously you can see the number below. I have 111 or so LRs, and this includes free to play, so take that with a pinch of salt. It also includes world tournament ones, but yeah, generally speaking, I have quite a few summonable LRs. Now a lot of them are at 55% or 69%, which means with one dupe. Generally speaking, that's kind of where you lie. And if I look at the units I don't have, a lot of them will be newer units. So outside of, I'd say, like the last 3 units, all of these are pretty recent. We got the anniversary units I never got. We've got Super Buu, came out just before, Bulma, who came out just before, Zamasu, who's obviously just come out, and that constitutes 6 of the 11 missing LRs that I don't have. Then we obviously have Carnival Banner Goku, who hasn't really returned on Global too much. And then we get like the 3 outliers, which I would say are Jiren, Broly, Goku Gohan, and Goku and Piccolo. And I did actually have Jiren and Broly. However, I bubbled them as part of some silly bet that I did. And so yeah, essentially my list would be a lot smaller on units I'm missing. Generally speaking, the longer you go without a unit, the harder it becomes to get them. So those units like Broly and Jiren, I'm probably going to have to get with yellow coins, because as the pool of LR units expands, it becomes a bit rougher to kind of grab them, especially on like yellow coin banners and things like that. So yeah, obviously, talking about like rainbow LRs, Majin Vegeta is like my first big rainbow LR. Buhan's probably my most recent big rainbow LR. My favorite LRs, I mean, the list is going to be obvious, but it's Physical Trunks, Physical Beast Gohan, and this isn't to say they're the best, I just love these ones most. Physical Super Saiyan 4s, and then I've also got, like Strength Future Gohan, of course, and I really do like Strength Gogeta and also AGL, Goku and or Gohan and Trunks, and End Vegeta and Trunks. So obviously, as you can tell, because I'm a Trunks fan, tons of them have Trunks in them. That's obviously apparent. I also like Broly, and I actually really like Broly, Chi-Lai, and Lemma, but unfortunately, they don't link up too well with anyone. And I don't have Zamasu to kind of run them on a team within Chi-Lai. So that's a little bit of a shame. But yeah, overall, honestly speaking, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I do wish I'd never got rid of Broly, and I do wish I'd never got rid of Jiren. But yeah, honestly speaking, I'm really happy with where my box is. And this is mainly just accruing over time. Sometimes I do only get LRs, like you can see there. I've got both Bardock and Golden Freezer, who I haven't yet awakened. Sometimes they do come to you late, and yeah, they're not as maybe as impactful, but it's still for me a lot of fun. Like, it's still cool to get the units, and I still like seeing them and using them and collecting them and trying them out. And then yeah, obviously leaders I just kind of use for, you know, 200% leads and things like that, or specific leads that I want to find. And max link units, I currently have 93, although I think this is a bit out of date. I think there's 1 or 2 units I need to add from my link leveling team that are currently finished. So yeah, I think I have around 95 is probably more accurate. But this takes a while to get. I do have probably 6 or 7 units that are about to all finish and be added in, so that number will go over 100 quite soon. But yeah, you know, link leveling, it's a grind. But yeah, that's my box. I just wanted to kind of share it with you guys. Wanted to see your thoughts, and I'd love to hear what you guys have, what's your favorite units, and yeah, just kind of share your experience with me. That's it from me. Bye.